how do the outliers in data analytics link to alerts for cybersecurity? So how is or can AI be used to automatically detect and eliminate threats?
I think that's
yeah, go ahead, Jack.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, I think that's a great question, and there are many areas, right? Sometimes the word AI gets used and abused beyond, I think, what is necessary, so which is a different topic for a different time. But I think there are reasonable ways in which you're already seeing machine learning play a role in information security and cybersecurity. And a key part is you see that in data loss prevention, where you can scan now large volumes of your storage, be it cloud, be it on-premise, if it's Office 365, where you can detect, thanks to machine learning, patterns of sensitive information and records which are non-encrypted or shouldn't exist in the first place. I think that's a good way of data discovery. So I think that's where machine learning is really good. I think machine learning lends itself well, and AI is part of machine learning, lends itself well to use cases where you have good volumes of data. So I think that's data discovery is a strong part. The other part where actually machine learning is playing a role is helping. So the amount of, so we talked about phishing, and phishing is an interesting part where despite a lot of phishing attacks still successfully becoming the primary cause, the volume of spam has gone up, but it doesn't reach our mailboxes. And that's thanks to machine learning, where a lot of them end up in spam. So I think that is another area where it gets overlooked, but simple actions which machine learning has already helped is identifying patterns of bad emails, of bad messaging. So data discovery, filtering, I think those are two solid use cases. The third one, which I feel is useful, is enabling your operations analysts with machine learning. So I think it's not going to solve the problem. You need the human analysis there to an extent, but having machine learning be able to augment your security operations capabilities with the virtue of log analysis, with the virtue of automated actions when you have certain use cases. So for example, you detected an email go out to your organization with 50 personally identifiable records, you immediately block that from exiting environment. I think those are the kind of cases where machine learning comes a long way. And there are the future use cases. I think the attacker one around deep fakes, we talk about phishing and social engineering, but deep fakes where you can essentially simulate real faces, real videos, that's the next thing we'll need to grapple with. And machine learning makes it very easy to create deep fakes, but it also helps in detecting them. So I think that's where you'll see the next evolution come in.
Just to add here quickly that, so for a moment, like CrowdStrike perspective, we analyze almost 500 billion plus security events every day. And these actually events go to our AI and machine learning based solution where we have 20 million plus indicators of attack and indicators of compromise. Now, how you capture those security events and map those with the IOCs, and then actually you come up with the outcome that, okay, this IOC, this security event is mapping with this IOC, and this is the adversary actually who is trying to enter in your environment. So I think machine learning or AI models help a lot to stop those breaches, to detect those the security events and map back to the IOCs. So yeah, I mean, this is what we have been doing for several years now.
The outcome of machine learning, I find, is that because nowadays we find attack happening really, really fast. The reason why we are embracing that, and when we say we embrace that, please also keep in mind that the hackers are probably also embracing it as well. Is that we are trying to reduce what you call the decay curve. So the first 24 hours of any cyber breach is when the maximum impact to the organization actually happens. So there's only so much from a human standpoint we can do to respond, to decide the right response, and then to do the necessary containment of those kinds of threats. The role of machine learning comes greatly is, like what AJ mentioned, the recognition of the potential threats or the threats that are coming in, so that you can lead to another business outcome, which is automation and orchestration. You can start to look at, with SOAR coming into the picture, you can start to look at how do you harmonize all your different cybersecurity solutions to work together in concert to minimize their attacks. So threat containment comes into the picture, to recover quickly as possible and to have the necessary insights so that you can communicate with the stakeholders to demonstrate that you are demonstrating due diligence and have the situation under control, and at the same time to block any future attacks in that same fashion from happening. whether they, and hackers are really smart people. Right now, they'll try to attack it through a spam, through your email. Next thing you know, they attack, the same type of payload that they're trying to load into your system, to exploit, they're trying to get into your environment, may come from a third party, or may come from a drive-by download, may come from a phishing, may come from a watering hole. So recognize that when they are determined to attack you, they'll go all out with different instruments to get you. But with machine learning and recognition, all of that, and with us working to at the helm with the human overlay, with the alerts and so on, to orchestrate and to work all the different kinds of security devices in harmony. The key word here is all the devices need to work in harmony to defend the organization.
Yeah, just to add in a few seconds here, what Alvin said, it's all about speed. Right, so we have a golden rule in CrowdStrike 1-10-60. 1 minute to detect, 10 minutes to understand or investigate, and 60 minutes to remediate. I think it's a race in between information security team and adversaries, and it takes hardly 18 minutes for an adversary, which is a nation state, to break any system. It goes up to a couple of hours. So, and if you look at, I'm talking about 18 minutes, but information security team, which is average time, which takes almost 160 minutes, 160 hours. It's a long time. So attackers are much ahead in the game. It's all about speed, as I mentioned. So if we are quick, then definitely we can back to the normal. Otherwise, it's a difficult situation. So yeah, detect, respond, recover, and back to normal is a key.